Hey guys, I know it's been only one day since my last video. I don't think necessarily that's because I made progress. Perhaps I just had the opportunity to make another video, or I was falling behind. Don't get used to it. Probably won't happen that fast again. But I just had a lot going on. I'm still at my friend's farm, hence the decor. I'll show you the rest of the room, but it took me like 10 minutes to get this phone set up so it doesn't follow me. So let's just work with what we got. Okay. Talked to my husband. We had like 2 little incidents that happened. One being that right before I had left my home, after I packed up his stuff and had his parents pick it up, before I talked to him again, before he went to the rehab, I had looked underneath my trailer and I found his wedding clothes all wadded up and in disgraceful condition. That could only be on purpose, which I don't quite understand. I don't get it. To me, that's the clothes he got married in, so that means it's a disrespect on me, on our wedding, on our relationship. It's a gesture of hatred, pretty much. In fact, it was stashed underneath the trailer. It wasn't like he just threw it away or something. It means either he wanted me to find it, and underneath the trailer, honestly, I probably wouldn't have. Or he just wanted to remind himself that he hates me. Which is weird and sick. I'm part of this covert narcissism thing. It's a passive-aggressive gesture of taking something, some sort of dislike. To me, I looked at it as, yeah, that's what he thinks of me, that's what he thinks of our marriage. That he didn't want to get married. He wants to remind himself how much he hates me. That it's a totem to his sabotage of my home, etc., etc. I don't even know exactly what words to describe it, but it put a lead ball in my stomach. And I saw him under there, and I wasn't crawling under there, spiders and all that shit. So anyway, I just left it there. Fast forward to now, and when I'm talking to him again. And I'm terrible. This is your BPD in full action, but I start putting all this stuff out of my mind. I mean, my finger's still broke. It's difficult to work around. I took the brace off because I kept dropping it. And that wasn't that long ago. So I know that I'm playing with selective amnesia, shall we say, because all that stuff is just kind of going out the window, and all I'm thinking about, talking to him on the phone, stuff is how much I love him, how much I miss him. And when you're stuck to somebody who's stuck in some sort of institution on the other end of the phone, they're all about you. They love you to death. And he loves me. He misses me so much. And I hear his voice, and his voice just does something to me. It really does. I'm like, hold on, Heather, hold on. Reality check. This is the sort of things he does. And what justification? And he's got excuses for everything. So bring up the clothes. Don't let yourself fall in this trap. So I brought up the clothes. What a weird conversation that was. Because he proceeds to tell me that they're not under there. He has them at his mom and dad's. He knows because he had to borrow hangers off his dad to hang them up. Now I know that they're not hung up at his dad's. They're underneath the trailer. But he sounds so sincere. Like he's got me questioning my own reality. But he's insistent, like vehemently insistent, that he took them out of the bag, that he had to go borrow hangers, that he knows for sure he has them. So now I'm thinking I'm losing my mind. So I'm not home right now. So I call our roommate, and I have him go underneath the trailer and check. So tell me, are his wedding clothes wadded up underneath the trailer where I saw them? They are. He confirms that they are. I wait for the next phone call. And he calls back. I love you, miss you. How you doing? What you doing? Blah, blah, blah. By the way, I called our roommate and had him check And those clothes are definitely under the trailer. Well, first thing, why you gotta involve somebody else in our shit? Well, because I'm not home to check and you got me questioning reality. And I thought you knew for sure you had them. Shouldn't you be wondering why you're believing in hallucination or delusion or something? Shouldn't that be what matters? Okay. Next, it was like Covert Narcissism 101. It was like, bam, bam, bam. It was like, why you gotta involve somebody else in their shit? Why you gotta bring up old shit? Why you trying to start a fight with me? This is boring. I'll talk to you later. Boom, boom, boom. I was like, wow. Were you watching the same video on Covert Narcissism I was? Because you just checked off the boxes in order. So, there's that. Okay. That remains unresolved. There's that. So, then, second incident occurs. Turns out the institution he has calls his probation officer because he's got an active warrant, and I guess that he had said he was going there to take care of all this stuff, so he's taking care of this stuff. So I guess either he told them or they looked it up. Probably pretty easy to find out. Anyway, Trey, I don't know what he expected to have happen. Like, I'm going to go and turn myself in and take care of my warrant. You know, to take care of your warrant, you got to go to jail. I know that. He knows that. Everybody knows that. That's how you take care of it. I'm not really sure what he thought was going to happen. But he wasn't happy. Like, seriously not happy. Which, go to jail, not fun. I wouldn't be happy either. Nope. So, I get that. But he seems to be angry. Me. Like, what? I didn't get him a warrant. I don't have a warrant. I'm not in jail. I didn't fuck up. I said, you know, pulls one of those, like, why didn't this, he said to me one time, why didn't it happen to me? And I was like, because I don't commit crimes. You know, that's kind of how come. You know, they don't just go around with a butterfly net and selectively choose people to put in jail. That's not how that works. Anyway, but he's all in some sort of wicked mood. I can hear him in his voice. I'm like, why are you, hello? What? And he is angry. I'm like, why are you so angry? He talks about going to PO, it says, and he's just going off, and I'm like, okay, well, you know what? He goes, he says something about, if you'd known he had to do 90 days there, he wouldn't be in this 30-day. And I'm thinking, why didn't you know that? Or how do you know how long you gotta do it? I don't. Why are you so angry with me? Yeah, you went to misery? Like, yeah, that really sucks. That's a long time. It sucks for me too, right? I mean, I'm separated from him. Not that he's really being desirable at the moment, but he gets mad, and something is, I say, and I start to kick back, and I'm like, why are you so mad at me? And he says something about burning the trailer down. And I said, what? And that I should think about that. I'm like, what? What did you just say to me? What do you mean? Why would you burn the trailer down? He says, if things go back how they were. And I'm like, well, things cannot go back how they were. He said, and you better remember that. I said, are you threatening me? Like, are you threatening to burn my house down? For real? For real? He goes, well, you are 3/4 of the problem. At which point I hung the phone up. I'm 3/4 of the problem. I'm 3/4 of the problem. I don't have the addiction problem. I don't have that addiction problem. I don't have that sobriety problem. I didn't beat me up. I didn't beat you up. I didn't commit the crimes. I don't have probation. I'm just the poor schmuck getting drugged for this ride. And did you threaten to burn my house down? Like, is that a legitimate threat? It could be a legitimate threat. He's nuts. But I'm like, I got no idea what to do with this. I'm seriously upset. So I call his counselor. And I let her know. And she calls me back. It turns out they record all the phone calls, so she got to hear it. If he knew they were recording, he's a moron. Shouldn't call my husband a moron. But duh. What's up with that? Anyway, I barely get off the phone with her. And he calls me back. And now he's trying to make it like he didn't mean what he meant, like it was a metaphor or something, like that he didn't say what he said. But he's still angry, and I can still hear the anger in his voice, and the phone call goes kind of stilted and badly, and gets off the phone. Half hour later, calls me back again. Did you call here and tell on me, he says. I said, I did. He said, oh, like I was serious. I said, you sounded serious to me, you sounded pissed. He said, I can't believe you told on me. Now, at this point, I am feeling like a little bit of an ass. I told him I was a tattletale. I'm not usually a tattletale. I don't really do that thing, but he tried to burn my house down. I don't know if he's serious. If he's serious, I need to know if he could just, because he checked himself out, can he just walk right out? Because, like, I'm not home right now. I don't want my house burned down. You know? Like, and I'm not really sure how I got into this position, because nothing new got added to the syrup. I'm thinking, why am I talking to him at all? Who knows what he could do? He broke a finger, didn't he? Who knows? Anyway. Fast forward that night. He calls me. Now he's calm. Now, no longer angry in the voice. Now he's my TJ again. And he says, he says, hon, I'm so sorry. I was so upset because I thought I was going back to Montgomery County. I thought that that's where the world was coming from. I didn't want it. I get all that, but he said I shouldn't have took it out on you. You're right. Things were poor in group and blah, 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 but I was totally just took it all out on you, and I had no right to do that. All the right words. I forgive him. So we're back to my darling, but what the fuck? Like, that's not okay either. Not okay. So, don't know what's going on with that, and he's sober, so don't know what's going on with that at all. He better learn some, like, behavior management skills, coping mechanisms. I ain't his whipping boy. Moving along. Oh, this is gonna be a long one, I can tell it now. Okay, sorry guys, just put up with me, okay? Like I said, I told him it was yesterday I made the last video, so a lot has happened. Anyway. Okay. I don't know if y'all listen to Jordan Peterson at all. I personally love him. Love him. Such a smart guy. Not super thrilled about this Daily Wire move he made because I can't afford a subscription. So I only get to hear half his podcast now, which I find very disappointing, but I agree he should be paid for his work. Just wish I could hear it. Maybe somebody will bootleg it. Anyway, heard one of his podcasts last night after the phone calls when I'm getting ready to go to bed. And I'm going to look down because I actually took some notes because I just wanted to refresh myself. There was some of these really, he had some really thought-provoking ideas that I just want to throw out in the mix here. He's got some things he said about happiness, or like that not being life's point, that life is suffering, and if your goal is happiness, you're not going to survive the suffering. That's not a worthy enough goal. It's not enough meaning to carry you through. For some reason, that really struck with me. He was also talking about the state the world's going into, because the world is obviously going to hell in a handbasket, as everyone can tell just looking around. This whole thing has been nuts. I feel like we're in the end game, you know? Like, we're in the home stretch. There's final, like we just all came back from intermission. This is the final show. It started with COVID, and it's never going to go back again. We're heading into the... Okay, here's my conspiracy theory. Here's my little plug on that. Take it for what it's worth. I ain't going to go that way on this video. Just got to throw it out there. We're going into the New World Order. We're heading into our global system right now. And it's the beginning of the end. I believe the Bible refers to it as birth pangs. Yeah, we all know when the labor pains start, the baby's going to be born eventually. Which is one of the reasons I'm super motivated to get myself right with Jesus. Because hard times are coming, and then He's coming. Lord, I better be ready. Boy, am I a slow study. I really, really am. Anyway, the world's going to get worse. So when Jordan Peterson was talking about life being suffering, I knew it. He was right. It is. And it's gonna get worse. And I don't know why I'm bringing that up so much as I just, it's part of my journey, it's part of my thoughts. But I listened to my podcast, and then I decided I was going to read my Bible. And I'm now up to the book of Job. Job's a vicious book. That's rough. That guy got really, I can't even imagine the heartbreak. A little bit of my history, when I was 16 years old, I had a stillborn child, a son. And that was devastating, traumatic in a way I can't really even explain. And the trauma came from every direction on that one. The fact that I was 16 pregnant, the fact that I delivered a dead baby, the fact that I had to repeat the year of school, it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. And I don't think I ever did recover properly from it. All that being said, that creates a lot of trauma, pain, and anxiety inside me. One of my biggest fears in life has always been my daughter that I have now, is something happening to her, because she's all I got. And I don't think I could survive that twice, Anyway, poor Job. All of his kids wiped out in one swoop. All of them. I can't imagine the heartbreak. Actually, I can imagine. And then he's struck down with boiled in pain, and he's laying in the ashes, and he's begging God to just kill him. And I think I read this chapter twice, because I don't think I understand it. I don't know if it's the archaic language. I know there's something in there I'm supposed to understand. I very distinctly have a feeling that there's something real important in there that I'm supposed to get out of it. That I'm supposed to understand, but I didn't understand it. So I tried again today. It's the weirdest thing, I swear to you. Something about the book of Job provokes sleepies in me. Because every time I start reading it, I start going, and I mean, like, I could be wide awake. I don't understand this. So I thought, okay, I'm going to try. Let me pray for God to help me understand it. And to help me not have the sleepies when I'm reading it. And to help make it clear whatever the message in there is for me to know. And I prayed that. And I prayed for discernment and for him to reveal it to me. And I guess God's not a genie in a bottle, because I don't understand it still. But God answers prayer. Nobody said he's going to answer it immediately. It's not an abracadabra wish. In fact, one thing I do know is he does things on his time and nobody else's. God does not wear a watch. Nope. But I'm kind of stuck there, so that's where I'm at. But I asked, and he says, ask and it shall be given. So I asked, and I guess I'll just try again tomorrow and hope that that's when it'll be given. Because otherwise I'm going to be stuck in this really sad man's story for a really long time, because I do not understand what I'm reading. I'm finding it incredibly hard to read it. Maybe I didn't pray right. So I thought that already. I tried to repeat the prayer. And then this time I asked for my sins to be forgiven first. Because I thought maybe he can't hear me because I sinned since the last time I asked for my sins to be forgiven. And the sins may be a barrier between us, so he can't hear me through it. I don't know if that's true. I didn't say the part about, wash with his blood, but he knows how come my sins are forgiven. I'm pretty sure he knows about his kid dying. I'm pretty sure he knows that one. So I don't think I had to say that. God's not stupid. He knows I was praying so right? I don't know if I started it with Dear Holy. I don't think you have to start it with Dear Holy Father. I don't know. I think it's a prayer, not a spell. He knows. So I guess I'll do my next video when he answers. Alright. See you next sometimes. Bye, everybody.